Previously on Royalty Reality TV show. The royalties arrived to royal house in style. They were profiled. And they settled in. There was enough to eat and drink in the royal house. And the royalties spent quality time getting to know each other. In preparation for their very first games to determine the Duke and Duchess of the house.
Here with me on my paper is faith. What's the word faith? Faith is the ability to put faith alive, to put hope alive. Now, when it comes to leadership, how does faith come about? Leadership is the ability to lead the people, is the means of directing, controlling, and ruling people to the right direction. Now, faith comes in when a good leader is having a hope of leading his people to the right path. You have to become a leader, you need patience, you need faith, you need hope to lead your people very well, to give them the right leadership. Faith is the act of governing the people. Like, faith is keeping your hope alive. Okay, it's keeping your hope alive, making sure that whatever the battle is, whatever the circumstances is in front, you keep your faith alive and you hope that it's going to succeed, it's going to work out for you one day. So faith, when you attach it to leadership, is still you standing firm and knowing that indeed you can be a leader, you can actually achieve this with the faith within you. You can achieve whatever you want. You can get to the miles, you can go to an extra miles to get what you want as a leader. So you have to keep that faith alive. It's a hope that you're keeping alive for a better future, for a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Good. You can go back to your set.
I have with me dutifulness. As a leader, I have been following all things I'm assigned to do in the house. I've been doing my duties, cleaning my rooms, making sure I don't waste food, I don't waste water. Because as a leader, you must lead by example. So I do every duties that I am meant to do. When I wake up in the morning, I make sure everywhere is clean because I want every other person to see what I am doing, because leaders lead by examples. So I follow all rules. I try my possible best not to make mistakes in everything I am meant to do.
Good evening, judges. Good evening, my fellow housemates. Here with me is solitude. I stand to be corrected if I'm wrong. Solitude means integrity, the way you lead, transparency as well. So, as a good leader, you don't have to be cutting corners. You have to be straightforward. You have to be bold. You have to be strong. You have to be transparent in everything you do, so that people will not talk back. Because you'll be hearing different talks from different places. You do not allow it to affect you. You do not allow it get to you. You know what you are going. You know where you are going to. You know what you are doing. So you aim at it. You don't allow anything distract you. So that's what I understand by the word substitute. Solitude. Thank you.
You're done.
Yes.
Believe. That's what I see this to be. As a leader, you have to first of all believe in yourself. You have to have this confidence to make your followers understand that you know what you're doing. You have to believe in yourself. You have to be a good example to others. Not like you say this and you do another thing. So what I just see this as is believe, and as a leader, you must first believe in yourself to show good example.
Are you done?
Yeah.
You can return back to your seat.
My name is Lois, and I'm holding on to integrity. As a leader, you should have integrity, meaning owning up to your responsibility, having the confidence, also making sure that in anything you're doing, you need to own up. You need to know that this is it, and you need to also help your housemate in anything you want to help them with. Also, when it comes to integrity also means being transparent, having your confidence as a leader as well. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes, please.
Next person.
Ambition. When you say ambition and leadership, before you come up for leadership, you ask you what's the ambition of leadership? What you have to put to the table? What's your aim of being a leadership? Because a leadership should live by example and worthy of emulation. And if it doesn't set your goal well, you can't be productive in leadership. So you will, before you come up for leadership, they will ask you what's your ambition? What do you have to put to the table? So for me, I would say I want to be productive. I want people that I root to emulate me, what I do, and my good deeds. And any leadership should live by examples. That's what I mean by ambition in leadership.
Are you done?
Yeah.
You can step back.
Have faith is servitude. What I understand by servitude, as a leader, you have to go extra mile by serving your housemate, doing the right thing, like maybe when there's food, you can go extra mile, serve them, and you do the right thing.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Step back.
Good evening, housemates. Good evening, judges. What I have over here is ego. And for me, this also means pride. And first of all, before I go further, I would like to define the word pride. For me, pride simply means the act of not listening to people, like not seeing people up to your standard, that taking yourself high. And then, before I go further, I would like to explain the word leadership. Leadership is the art of governing a team or an organization to a greater height. And as a leader, you having a pride in that organization as a leader is a very big problem, because people might have good options or good opinion or good ideas that can promote the brand or the organization. But due to that pride in you, they will be scared to approach you, to tell you what they have to offer that will help in promoting the company or establishing the organization. So what I have to say is, as a leader, you have to bring down your pride. Like, you have to, your pride is not supposed to be high that much. You have to be humble, like take others as the same thing, like be cool with everybody as a leader. With that, I think people can give you their opinion as a leader. And being cool with everybody, people be friendly, and wherever there's friendship, things will grow over there. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes, ma'am.
Step back.
Already, the plan that has been laid down for you to follow, it must not be different from what they have been bringing up before. And as indifference, I believe the only difference which is supposed to be added to it is improvement of as a good leadership. People are looking up to you, and you should be more active, like putting something together that is good, you know. That's what I want to say.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Step back. Next person.
Fellow housemates, what I have here is dependability, meaning depends solely on particular leader, and adding it up to leadership means, as a leader, they depend on you because you are transparent, you are free, you are open-minded. You also always seek advice from them, and you're also open to criticism. That way, they depend solely on you to always get a good result. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes.
Step back. Next person.
Carelessness is the paper on my hand. My name is Sir Nado. Good evening, my judges. Good evening, my fellow housemates. Carelessness, if I'm to explain it, I would say is act of waywardness. And when we say leadership, I have always define leadership as the act of serving. So, as a leader, you are not supposed to be wayward. There are things that you do that actually attribute you to a wayward leader. You don't just go astray and people call you a wayward man. You know, there are things you do that, like I said earlier, that people can attribute to you and say you are a wayward leader. When you compromise, there's a difference between compromise and improvising in particular circumstances. When you say, if I'm to talk about incompetency, first of all, before coming to compromisation, incompetency also is one of the major things I hate. So I hate incompetency because it's one of the wayward things that many leaders do in this life, and then people see to them as if they are not worth it. Then compromisation is, as a leader, trying to find favor in the eyes of others, or to provide, trying to make yourself good in the eyes of others, then neglecting the other party. So that is all I have to say about carelessness.
Are you done?
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Step back. Next.
Good evening, the judges. Good evening, my fellow housemates. My name is Duri Keshku. Here I have tegnancy. According to my own description, tegnancy is the art of showing seriousness in any position given to you by a society or individual. Now, leadership, on the other hand, simply means governing. Qualities of tegnance are straightforwardness, consistency, and having faith. Now, if you possess all these arts, you will see it works together with leadership. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes.
Step back.
The word I'm having here is discrimination. And relating this word to leadership, I would say A lot of people see leadership to be a position, title, but I see leadership to be a responsibility. And if a leader is not leading his followers by example, there will be room for discrimination. And a good leader is not supposed to discriminate his followers or her followers. So if a good leader would not lead by example, there will always be room for discrimination. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Step back. Step back. Next person.
All protocols duly observed. I have responsibility, and I guess it's self-explanatory. When you're being given leadership, already that's a huge responsibility on your shoulders. It requires you to be selfless. It requires you to be patient. It requires you to be very observant and being responsible. It's when, let me give an example with when you're giving people that are under you tasks to do and they don't do it, take it upon yourself as a responsibility to do that, because you can't keep pinpointing fingers on them because this has not done it, this has not done it, and you're pointing out blames on them. So what's the essence? That task you gave will keep being there, and then it's not moving forward, it's not moving backward, it's just stagnant. So there is no movement, and your leadership will keep being without any improvement. And secondly, I want to attach responsibility with leadership in the sense that given responsibility, which is leadership, you're to serve and not to be served. Because you being served, it's more like you're bossing on those who are beneath you, you're bossing on your subordinates. You're not serving them because you're supposed to serve them as a leader, not being served. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Step back. Next person.
Good evening, judges. Good evening, fellow housemates. My name is Will D. Manfa Wilfred. Written on this paper is courage. I strongly believe there are countless definitions of leadership out there that we cannot possibly explore, but I believe leadership means different things to different people depending on the context. Okay, let's take it this way. My own definition of leadership is selling a vision to people, your followers, and convincing them to buy into the vision. That cannot be possible without courage. The reason is because you are actually taking a risk. You don't know if the people in question are going to buy into the vision. But because you have courage, you are courageous enough, to venture into telling them, that shows leadership ability. Standing here to talk to people takes a lot of spunk. It is not possible if I am nervous, I cannot stand here to talk to people. That is a form of leadership, right? Royalty Reality TV show is actually in search of young people with strength and tenacity. It's not possible to have strength and tenacity without being courageous. So courage is more or less a vital force of leadership. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Step back.
Jim Speckle Travel Hub. It's your go-to travel service provider. Any day, anytime. A travel service you can trust. We offer travel bookings, tour packages, hotel reservations, visa advisory, and lots more. We're located at plot 1041, Kuru Mohammed Avenue, Central Business District, Abuja. For more information, please call +234 802 849 92 8724 or +234 814 304 8726 or visit www.jimspeckotravelhub.com. Visit social media at Jim Specko Travels. Jim Specko Travel Hub. Your happiness is our pride.
Hi, good evening, judges. Good evening, my housemates.
Be audible, please.
Written on my paper here is struggle. And I want to say struggle in leadership is a dominant factor, and it's either the energy you get from the people, your subjects, or the energy they get from you. So it's a dominant factor. And I want to cite example, like we all know Mandela, and so many of them, the likes of them. It is not always easy because, just like he rightly said, it's more like selling your vision to your subjects. And sometimes there are people who know these things better than you. There are people who are more knowledgeable, who are more educated than you, that is the leader of whatsoever group it is. And now, this why it's a struggle is that you always have these people who always rebel against you, who always not take every part of the leadership that comes from you. And that's where the struggle comes, because you find out that it's making the work not easy for you. And then at the same time, you're not finding it easy as a leader to dispatch your duties at a time. So struggle comes in dominantly because it doesn't make the work easy for the leader, because you sometimes don't have people who believe so much in you as a leader, but still you have to do what you have to do to keep them going, I think with these few words, I stop here.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Step back. Next person.
Good evening, judges. Good evening, fellow housemates. The paper in my hand has the word patience. Now, as a leader, you must be very patient. Now, patience is the act of persevering. You know, in leadership, there's one big attribute which has to do with patience. Your subject may not, may be giving you a lot of hard times in your leadership position. The only thing that can rescue you from such kind of situation is the ability for you to keep cool and be calm and handle things with patience. Now, a leader that is impatient will not be a successful leader. To be a successful leader, you have to be patient. And patience has a lot of ways of bringing out true leadership in an individual. Patience has to do with you sitting down, persevering, listening to persons, having time to, for your subjects, having time for the crowd, always being there. A leader that is patient is someone that everybody can walk up to. A leader that is patient is someone that gives attention to the audience, give attention to his subject and the rest. But a leader that is impatient will not have that time. He will suddenly disperse crowd from himself. So patience is one of the best attributes of a leader, because a leader will keep cool to some events. There are some events you don't judge immediately as a leader. There are some events that need you to calm down, re-look into the matters before judging. And that only can be seen in a patient leader. Impatient leaders can't do that. So one of the best attributes, if you want to be a leader, is to be patient. And patience is not just given to anybody. Patience means you have to persevere, to listen, to have a cool time, to be calm, to handle situations. So if you see a calm and patient leader, you will see a successful leadership in a particular organization, region, country, society, or whatsoever. Thank you very much. I remain Audio, the ambassador.
Good. Step back.
Or organization. So, to be a successful leader, you need to be obedient. Because even being a leader, you definitely have people that are above you. You definitely have people that have higher standard of leadership. You have people that are more educated and more successful leaders than you. So for you to reach that height of being a greater leader and a more successful leader, you need to be obedient. And to be obedient, you need to be a calm person, you need to be meek, you need to be humble. Thank you.
Are you done?
Thank you.
Yes, I'm done.
Step
You
back.
are welcome, Pastor.
Good evening, Royal Court. My name is Mercy, and the word I have here is honor. I would like to start with the saying that goes, give honor to whom honor is due. Now, in the aspect of leadership, I would say that honor is a two-way thing. From the head to the subordinate, like from the head to the teammates. As a team member, we should be able to give honor to whoever is assigned as a leader, irrespective of age, size, cultural differences, experience, and every other thing. Because it is difficult to receive instruction or to work with someone that you do not honor or you do not respect. And the same way, it is difficult to pass down instructions or to work with people that you do not honor. So even as a leader or someone in the position of leadership, you should treat your team members with honor. Let them feel respected, let them feel appreciated. That way, they can work even while you are not there. They can do whatever is being delegated because they know that, okay, I'm not doing this. I feel appreciated. I feel respected. I can do what I want to do with. That's what I'm looking for. It's like they can do it without. I can't remember the word right now. But then it is important that your teammates feel respected, they feel honored, and then they feel appreciated as a part of a team. And the same goes for the leader. The leader feels honored, the leader feels respected, the leader feels appreciated to be a part of the team. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes.
Step back.
Good evening, judges. Good evening, area housemates. My name is Gloria Ibe, also known as Uniglo. I stand here with this paper written strength. In the race to leadership, as a leader, it requires enough strength. So I stand here to debate strongly and you get convinced that the best quality of a leader is strength. Strength in the sense that you are healthy and you can stand to address the crowd. The people who are actually looking and trusting you to lead them to the right place. Now it takes strength for you to be able to listen to people from different backgrounds and with different beliefs. Different beliefs in the sense religion, tribes, and race. You've got to listen with one of the qualities of strength. It gives you enough energy to listen, to be able to process patiently, so as not to conclude in bringing out results that would fail them. It takes strength to also come back and address the other end. You're actually answerable to the people you're leading, and you're also going to be confident to be able to speak to the upper power and authorities. Standing here before you, I really want you to agree with me that strength is one of the best qualities of a leader. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes.
Step back.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Acha Grace, and what I have here is self-sacrifice. Self-sacrifice is actually an act of laying yourself down for the comfort of others when necessary. Laying yourself down here can be money, time, food, as the case may be. And relating this to leadership, which is the spirit of service, which leads to governing a lot of people, or even it's more like a lot of people, governing a lot of people. And to be a good leader, you have to sacrifice yourself when necessary. For example, maybe let's use food as an example. If there is a gathering of followers and a leader or leaders, and food is served, it's actually from the leaders to the followers, and maybe the last follower doesn't get food, it is
very okay for a good leader to actually hand over his or her food to the follower, to be an example and to be a good leader. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yes.
Step back.
Good evening, judges. Good evening, royal housemates. With me in my hand, I have self-esteem. But before I proceed, from my own understanding, I want to give you a definition of leadership. Leadership is the ability to lead and be led. So self-esteem here, in other words, confidence, fearless, courageous. As a good leader, we should have that confidence and a fearless spirit in us to provide a solution to the problem and tasks ahead. Our followers should be able to have that confidence in us that yes, our leader, when our leader shows up, we believe that the tasks and problem ahead can be solved and dealt with. You should also have the spirit of courage. You should also be courageous to be able to address any situation we find ourselves in as a leader. We should also be able to imbibe in our followers the spirit of confidence, to be confident about themselves, and also have that fearless spirit in them. Thank you.
Are you done?
Yep.
Step back.
Good evening, housemates. Good evening, the judges. What I have with me here is self-control. First of all, I'll define the word leadership. Leadership is an act of service. As a leader, you have to serve. It takes a lot to be a leader. Self-control. Without me having self-control, I can't lead people. It takes a lot to lead people. Your subordinates will get on your toes. It takes self-control to be able to handle them. If you don't have self-control and you have anger issues, definitely you have to get in different fights with your subordinates. So in all you do, you must control yourself, control your anger. And it goes in the same line with patience. So whatever you do as a leader, you have to control yourself. Thank you very much.
Are you done?
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Step back. Royalty.
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Royalty.
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
You all have heard yourself talk. You've spoken your mind. Now it's time for your judges to deliberate on all you've said and come up with a good leader to lead you guys. This power is in the hands of the judges. They've heard you, I've heard you, and I believe General Mugato has also heard. So I would give the judges 5 minutes to talk within themselves and come up with a good leader to lead each and every one of you. Royalties.
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Royalties.
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Sina, Wilfred,
The people that spoke well, right?
Sina, Wilfred,
Who is single?
Chris Praise, the ambassador.
No, me, I just think Wilfred and Lois, they spoke very well.
Wilfred and
Lois.
Oh?
Lois.
Yeah, they did well.
Wilfred is fine.
Yes.
Okay. And what's her name? The short girl that spoke last.
Short girl that spoke last.
Yes.
Gracious.
For
Fabulous.
The other one
Fabulous.
is Bonbon.
Keep going.
I think she spoke better than every other girl.
Which guy?
No, I think Lois for sure.
Oh.
Lois. Anyway, she's fine, but she went out of point at the point. I don't know, what
Almost
do
all
you
of them
think?
went out of point. Almost all of them. Except Frida.
Is that so?
Except Frida. That's Swedish.
The girls actually, I can pinpoint people, not even all about speaking, but
No, okay,
being
you now choose
being
among girls. He
pointing.
has chosen, so among
No,
the
I
girls.
choose Wilfred for the guys.
No, not the guys. I'm talking about the girls. We're okay with Wilfred, right? The guys,
Okay
the
then,
girls.
unique glow and Helene did if in a cool introduction, and the end part also matters. Though most people were actually giving points, but them too
What
they
do you think
spoke
about
with
his choice?
they spoke
Unique glow
with
is fine.
confidence.
What do you think about his choice?
On who?
Lois.
She at the time she was actually bridging her words
Is she okay for it?
for it.
Well, let's just go
Judges.
with unique glow, sha.
Judges.
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Judges.
Yes, Royal Enforcer.
Are you done deliberating?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Pick one person to address the housemates
Can I?
and tell us who you guys have picked.
Can I?
You can. If you want me to, I can.
So you're taking Wilfred and Lois.
No, Wilfred and come again.
Step forward.
He said he should.
It's fine.
What is the yardstick you use in judging your fellow housemates?
First of all, good evening, housemates.
Good evening.
Your introductions, how bold you are when talking, the confidence in you, how outspoken you are, and in general, the points you're giving. I really want to congratulate every one of us that presented a word today. We did good on all the words that we were giving. But I will still give credit to a lot of people for their introductions. Helene, I love your introductions, but at the middle of the words and at the ending, there were a lot of complications there. So without wasting much of our time, I think I'm speaking our mind. We'll go straight to picking who we think is good to lead us. Can we have Wilfred?
Stand up. Move forward.
Can we have unique glue? From what we conclude, both your introductions, how bold you were on your conversations, your speech, the end part of the speech wasn't up to 100, but we can actually give an accuracy. You were bold. Assuming you are now a leader, the confidence you give on your speech actually shows that you can talk in front of millions of people. And we didn't get a breach in all the words that you guys were saying. So from the table of the judges, we present you two as the Duke and Duchess of the house.
No. I said pick one person. One. One person.
Okay, we pick Wilfred.
Good. Clap for him. Miss Uniqlo, return back. Go back, Mr. Manfa. This is now your head of house. You would listen to him, he would give instructions, and you should follow them. This is serious business. No joking here. Without leadership, people live like animals. I wouldn't want that in the royal house. This is your leader. You all have spoken, and your judge have decided on who suits best to fill this position and lead you all. I'm expecting obedience from each and every one of you. Whatever is given to you by him, you should do it without asking questions. No fighting, no talking back at this point. Now, Mr. Wanfa, you are now given the power to pick the opposite sex from the other house, not your own house that you stay in. You should pick someone for the next house, an opposite sex that would lead beside you, sorry. Now, this is your Duke and Duchess. She would work alongside with Mr. Wanfa. She would take directives from him, and she would work by her own self too. Listen to her, do whatever she says you should do. Do you hear me?
Yes, we are enforcing.
As it stands now, these are your head of house, the Duke and the Duchess. Clap for them again. Now you can return back to your seat. Judges, go back.
Yes,
Join your mate.
Microphone.
Whatever instruction you are given, I expect you to follow it. If you're asked to wear specific clothes, wear them. If you're asked to dress certain way, dress that way. Do you hear me? Instructions won't come and then you disobey. Thank God you guys have listened and you've said things that relates to leadership. You all are leaders on your own. And you're to do what is right and abide by the rules of General Mugato. Do you hear me? Yes, we are the enforcer. Good. Now, you will go back into your house and prepare for the next segment. Thank you. Stand up and move. In an orderly fashion.
Royal reality, royal reality, this is reality,
This guy, this guy is
Tracy, keep
this
quiet,
guy.
keep quiet.
Just leave him. I'm just looking at you. Shut up, shut up. Shut up, I'll spank you. Everybody, you're for everybody and you're still saying.
I believe for everybody.
Hi,
And you were also saying it's flirting. You are flirting.
It's
flirting.
It's
No, no.
It's for you, it's for this
You
one.
want to spoil my joy.
Wait for your joy. We're not spoiling
Baby,
your
wait
joy.
now, wait. Baby.
you're ready
This
for
girl
the
do your shoot safe. That your shoot. It's fine. That one will for that thing. That's first. Yeah, we're looking for the calculator.
That's the jackpot. Next year. Me, kindness. Who said so? Me, get that number. What do you know about that? My darling, Joel. How are
You didn't understand the whole thing. That's why you felt it escalated. And immediately you said that I get quiet. I had to allow her and Mr. Lawlessness to explain to you. That's when I had to tell her, I don't know why you are attacking. Even Mr. Lawlessness said she has noticed 2 times. The only time I know I reacted to her was when she said, Oga, I just said, I don't like that. Straight up. Me in particular, I don't like when someone calls me Oga. I try not to call somebody madam because I know a lot of people don't like it as well. But that's okay, maybe I want to get to you and I'll be like, madam, I'm fine. I don't like it, me in particular. So, Oga, all those, hey, the word hey,
my own is that
pass anybody. So, no, you don't understand. If you don't get to go close to somebody, you don't understand the person. I have to explain to your roommate, like I have to explain why. If something is wrong, if I do something wrong, even if you don't want, I don't accept it.
It's just like the way he was arguing over your marriage.
That's what I'm even trying to explain.
He feels he was very sure.
Yes.
What I was telling you is something I was sure that if I had known it would leak, I would have just stopped it.
That was why I had to stop the game. Because at that time, I might argue again and I wouldn't like me, someone telling me, you are arguing, I don't like it. Now, in Appointing was like this. If one, you have some girls hustling, that's Appointing district. That place leads to a barrack. That's Appointing district. Then there's another one that where you do your visa. Like, it leads to Ikoyi. That's how the road is. That's what I'm trying to explain to that. That guy is in CBS. He works in CBS. Even in that CBS, even in that CMS in that Lagos, he doesn't know everywhere. Even me, I don't know everywhere. I don't think that I Lagos and the same clothes for long. I don't know some places to carry me and enter.
If he had accepted what that guy was saying, if he had told him, yes, I know about it.
But this girl here is not I'm telling you now. And that's the island.
And everybody knows that there is an area called Obalende. And it's a meeting to share it. So it's
I know where it is.
I was surprised.
Okay, anyway,
You want to know?
How would you know? They will make you stand up.
No, the only thing is that we have to. And then they'll pick, like, for example, this one. Then they pick one particular name. That's the person that. Okay, you not speaking you. Voice it out.
Well, only be one.
Yes,
one person.
I don't think so. It is one person.
Yeah.
The other session is not a big it's just a small place now. Just a small place.
How will you even know that?
So that is it now.
So that is why one person will not end up on like maybe some will end up on one person. What game of truth? What have I done? I don't tell anybody. I don't. Ah, but those are on the meat. Who mentioned the what's the nature of it? You don't understand. It's for the first stop. You're not going to be.
Hello.
You're not going to be.
What's your name? I'm Helen. I'm sick. Yeah.
So you're not your so guys, you go around doing this. Like,
He's not ready.
Who thought he's not ready? Last relationship. Who thought he's not ready? Who said that? Who said I wasn't ready?
Last year.
Last year. I don't understand.
I am focused.
Since then.
Since then, I'm in a market. Single. And then you do very well.
That's a girlfriend.
No, now.
That's a girlfriend.
What are you making my hair?
You
What are you fixing my nails? My business.
After the day comes the night, when all men rest. What happens next? Only time can tell. Catch us next time on the Royalty Reality TV show. The royalties arrived the royal house in style. They were profiled. And they settled in.